Plus a little cheaper, I hope.
She's ready back there.
Okay. Oh, I need to give you this, don't I?
Okay, it's 4 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the May 23rd, 2011 City Commission meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Angel.
Here.
Commissioner Crawford.
Here.
Commissioner Householder.
Here.
Commissioner Jennings.
Here.
Commissioner Shirley.
Here.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the Citizens Forum. If there's anyone here that wants to speak to any issue not on today's agenda, please come up to the podium. Give us your name and address. Tell us what's on your mind.
Mike Hoppick, 914 Oak Lane. The first thing you'll like to know is I'm not here to ask for money. Really, what I'm here for is to thank the city of Salina for what they've done to help Sculpture Salina get off the ground. Jason, Mike, Greg, the other city staff have been so good to work with. We couldn't have pulled it off without you guys. So that's
Thank
what
you,
we're here
Mike.
for.
You
And
did.
thank you for the agreeing to do the People's Choice. I think so far, what I hear from the city of Salina and the citizens is they're happy with what they've seen. So thank you all very much.
Thanks for all the work you put into it. That was a fun day Saturday.
Was,
Nice
wasn't
job. Yeah, thanks. And is anyone else here for the Citizens Forum? If not, we'll move on to awards and proclamations.
Item 4.1, the day of May 28, 2011, as Poppy Day in the city of Salina. Sue Herman with the American Legion Auxiliary will read the proclamation.
Come on up, Ms. Herman.
Thank you. Whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by citizen soldiers. Whereas those who have answered the call to arms have died on the field of battle. Whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who have died in war. Whereas the red poppy has been designated as a symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars, and whereas the American Legion Auxiliary has pledged to remind America annually of this debt through the distribution of the memorial flyer. Therefore, I, Samantha P. Angel, Mayor of the City of Salina, do hereby proclaim May 28, 2011 as Poppy Day, and ask that all citizens pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy on this day.
Do you all have anything planned for the 28th? Any events?
We do. We will be distributing poppies at Walmart, Dillon's Planet Store, Southgate, Kmart, and of course on Memorial Day there will be the memorial services at the cemeteries, Gibson Hill at 10 o'clock, Roselawn at 10:30, and then the memorial service at the War Memorial at Sunset Park on Memorial Day.
Okay. Thank you.
May
Come
I
on
give
up.
you a poppy?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And can I leave an extra one for your buddies across the way over here?
We don't have anything under public hearings or items scheduled for a certain time, so we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 6.1, approve the minutes of May 16, 2011.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. And we're on to development business.
Item 7.1, on mayor to sign the final plat for the Grand Oaks addition.
Mr. Andrew.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a follow-up application to a rezoning case that the Commission considered back in December. And at that time, the City Commission concurred with the recommendation of the Planning Commission to rezone a triangular tract of land that's on West Grand, just next to the West Dry Creek Channel cutoff. And the LaCoyers are the owners of that property and are interested in constructing a non-climatized storage building for hobby cars. At the time of the rezoning action, the property had not yet been properly surveyed, so the platting of the property was deferred until that was completed, and that was submitted in March of this year. And the plat merges together two 14,000 square foot tracts into a single 28,000 square foot building lot. There's no additional right-of-way being provided or requested for Grand Avenue. So the Planning Commission at their May 3rd meeting voted to approve this one-lot plat, which the LaCures are calling the Grand Oaks Addition. And if you're in concurrence with that, a motion should be made to authorize the mayor to sign that plat. And once this is completed, they'll have a zoned and platted building lot that they can construct their building on. With that, I'd be happy to address any questions.
Any questions for staff?
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
I move that we authorize the mayor to sign the final plat for the Grand Oaks addition.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve application P11-11A. Is there any further debate or discussion? Seeing none, bring that back for a vote. All in favor of approving application P11-11A, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. And we're on to administration.
Item 8.1, second reading ordinance number 10,604, vacating a 14-foot utility easement running between lots 14 and 15, Block 1 of the Holiday Edition.
Ordinance number 11-10604 was passed on first reading on May 16, 2011. Since that time, no comments have been received. The ordinance has been amended to remove the condition of dedicating an additional 7-foot utility easement. Is there any public comment on this today? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 11-10604 on second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance 11-10604 on second reading. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Crawford,
Aye.
Commissioner Householder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jennings,
Aye.
Commissioner Shirley,
Aye.
Mayor Angel.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8.2, award of contract for the Salina Airport Authority Aviation Service Center Development Utilities, project number 06-1619.
Ms. Tasker.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This project provides utility infrastructure necessary to develop the Salina Aviation Service Center. The project was divided into two separate projects, which allowed bidders to bid on either Project 1, Project 2, or both projects. Project 1 includes approximately 3.5 miles of domestic water lines, 1.25 miles of fire protection lines, and 1 1/8 mile of gravity sewer. Project 2 includes a 550,000 gallon fire protection tank, 4 diesel pumps, and refurbishing an existing building and miscellaneous appurtenances. Bids were received on May 17th. We had a total of 7 bids for the project number 1 that ranged from roughly $1.8 million to $2.6 million. Smoky Hill LLC of Salina, Kansas was the low bidder for project number 1 at $1,779,375.50. The engineer's estimate for project 1 was $2,618,817. On Project 2, Smoky Hill LLC of Salina, Kansas was also the low bidder at $1,609,485. The engineer's estimate was $1,968,022.50. The combined total with Smoky Hill as the low bidder for both projects is $3,388,860.50. We feel like these were very good bids for the time that we bid, very favorable for this project. The contractor will commence work on or before June 1st of this year and complete the work by April 1st of 2012. This project was authorized in the 2010-2014 Capital Improvements Program. The project was authorized at $5.5 million and would be paid for through general obligation bonds and retired through water and wastewater revenue rates. Staff is proposing the addition of a 5% construction contingency to cover construction change orders. This contingency would allow staff to accommodate minor changes with a quick turnaround for the contractor during the construction. Change orders within the contingency range of 5% would be approved by staff and the city manager. Anything over and above the 5% or that was a large change in scope would be brought back to the City Commission for approval. With the addition of the 5% contingency, the authorized amount would be $3,558,300. Staff recommends that the City Commission award the contract for the Aviation Service Center Development Utilities, project number 06-1619 to Smoky Hill LLC of Salina, Kansas, in the amount of $3,388,860.50, and then to authorize an additional 5% construction contingency with a total of $3,558,300. I would be glad to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Any questions for staff? Thank you. Mr. Gage, would we just need one motion to include the 5% contingency also?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it to the commission for action.
Mayor, I'd move that we approve and award the contract 06-1619 with a 5% contingency totaling $3,558,300. That's it.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we award the contract for the Salina Airport Authority Aviation Service Center Development Utilities Project number 06-1619 with a 5% contingency. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8.3, award a contract for the Water Main Replacement Project Phase 2, 2010, project number 102842A.
Ms. Tasker.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. The City of Salina's water distribution system consists of over 323 miles of water mains. These date back to the early 1900s, and in fact, with the majority of them being installed between 1900 and the 1960s. These pipes were constructed of cast iron. Over 66% of the pipe was cast iron. This is a pipe material that was formed in sand. It's very rough. The interior is very rough and not of a consistent size, so it allows a lot of material to attach itself to the inside of the pipe. The current pipe material that we use is ductile iron or PVC, which has a much smoother surface. So some of those problems are alleviated with the pipe technologies of today. This old unlined cast iron pipe mains developed tuberculation inside of the pipe, which basically is a formation of real rough materials that prevent water to flow through the pipe, reduces our fire flows, and causes taste and odor problems for our citizens. We have allocated $4 million a year for water main replacements over the next 5 years. This is the second phase of water main replacements that we're dealing with. The first phase, we just completed the construction. It was roughly a little less than $800,000 for 2 miles of water line, and this is our second phase. We've been breaking them into roughly $1 million projects to make it a little easier for us to handle and for the contractors to handle. So this is our second phase, but the first project is done successfully and with no issues. We received bids on May 17th. Again, we had roughly 5 bidders. Stevens Contractors, LLC of Salina, Kansas, was the low bidder at $9,833,400. The high bid was for $1,585,982.38. The engineer's estimate was $1,361,345. Again, we feel like we had very competitive bids, close range of bids through the course of this. The contractor will commence work on or before June 1st, and the work will be completed by the end of this year. As I mentioned, the water main replacements are in our capital improvement program, and we've allocated $20 million over the next 5 years. Currently, we have cash reserves that we can pay for these first few water main replacements, and we will use those reserves at some point in time. We will switch to the revenue bonds that will be repaid through our water and sewer rates. Again, we're proposing the addition of a 5% construction contingency to cover construction change orders. With the addition of the 5%, the authorized amount would be $1,032,570. Staff recommends that the City Commission award the contract for the water main replacement project Phase 2, 2010, project number 10-2842A to Stevens Contractors, LLC of Salina, Kansas, in the amount of $983,400, and authorize an amount with the 5% contingency of $1,032,570. This time, I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for staff?
Martha, how do they come up with which mains and areas that they decide to replace annually? More so for the citizens at home, I suppose.
What we had done was worked with the consultant PEC out of Wichita, Kansas, and actually evaluated several areas. And we also have a list of complaints where citizens call in, and we have plotted those on our GIS mapping. So we pull up those areas with the little stars, and where there's a lot of stars, that means we have a lot of issues and complaints. So we're dealing with those areas in the first place. So basically by citizens' demand in some ways.
Okay, thank you.
I just would like to point out that the Utilities Department is 2 for 2 today on getting bids in well below what the city anticipated they would be. If you can somehow continue that trend, we'd really appreciate it.
Or lower. Or lower is always good. We'll even take them lower, too.
We'll try.
Any other questions for staff? Thank you. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, I'll bring it to the commission for action.
I move we award the contract for the water main replacement project, Phase 2, 2010, project number 10-28428. A.
Second?
Excuse me, Mayor. It probably would be good to identify the fact that there is a contingency component and what that total amount is then with the contingency.
Okay. So the $983,400 to Stevens Contractors, LLC, with the contingency of the 5%. Better?
Yeah, that's fine. And probably good to refer to the total as well, the $1,032,570 total.
Okay.
There.
The one on the very bottom?
Correct.
Okay, so the $1,361,345.
Oh, it must have changed.
Here. That one, okay. See. All right. For the $1,032,570.
Correct.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we award the contract for the water main replacement project, Phase 2, 2010, project number 10-2842A, with a 5% contingency for a total amount of $1,032,570. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. Is there any other business? Seeing none, I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We're adjourned.